kind of strange history episode. This is not the usual format for strange history. This is this is just to put something out there that I believe people need to see. And in my background music just sounds obnoxiously loud right now for what I'm doing. That's much lower for some reason. Anyway, this is a video about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Bottle should not be in front of me, in my way. I know I'm in the dark, but that's because this is solemn moment. They have the shooter and the whole group in custody or, questioning this or that, whatever. But there's a truth that has to be said, and that is if you and I'm not an expert, but if you know anything just about even people who watch true crime things recently are noticing this, that it's so unfortunate that we had to see what we had to see in the video that was all over the internet. But what is fortunate is that we got to see something, and people who knew right away said, "Hey, what we're looking at there is not where he was shot. That is an exit wound on his neck." And this man right here is about to tell us exactly how and why. So, okay. So this guy's going to tell us how and why, and I just want to give this some attention. And if you're seeing this on YouTube and you don't understand the strange history thing, that is my Substack. It's on Spotify, it's a podcast that I do going over strange incidents in history and stuff like that. And I'm going to use that platform right now to put this out there. And I'm using my YouTube Live unlisted, but I will list it when I'm done for anyone who wants to watch it. So thank you to anyone who's watching on YouTube, because this is not the intention for where I'm putting this. Anyway, let's get to Mr. Ballistics. Let me make it large and in charge, and we're good to go. All right, let's listen to my man here.
I didn't want to make this video.
Oh, by the way, this is outside the Overton, which has grown from about, I think, 4,000 subscribers to 22,000 subscribers overnight, by the way, now that I just looked at it.
I still don't want to make this video, but I think it's necessary, and I feel some type of duty to it. Two, because I am a Marine, Scout Sniper. I did that for 5 years. I taught ballistics classes. I know I know what I'm talking about. Okay, at least a little bit. I'm not some rando out here. Three, it should be fair to assume that.
Just pay attention, by the way, to what's behind him. The FBI is lying. And sorry about that. That's the crazy kids that I have. I don't want to make this. He's a Marine Scout Sniper. FBI lies, no presumptions. We all know that, of course. Only ballistics. I can't really read that. Can see bullet the frame before. We're going to see that. Really crazy to see. The earpiece and all that stuff. He's going in order of what he's doing here. Okay.
The FBI lies to us. I think everybody can agree on that. Given that, let's try to start this with no preconceived notion. Let's not presume anything. Let's not take them at their word on anything moving forward. Specifically, who the shooter is, where the shooter is, and anything from that angle. I would even go as far to say the round or the caliber of the round that the shooter was using. Also, I'm not going to touch on any of the inconsistencies of this case outside of the ballistics in the situation. There's a lot. There's so many inconsistencies, but this video is not for that. And so we're going to get into this real quick. First of all, there's 9 camera angles. We're only going to use 4 of them, and then I'm going to wrap back around to number 1 at the end. So as we dive into this.
So there's 9 camera angles that show this, and the one from the front was seen the most, but these side views, especially the side Charlie's left, is the most important, because that's where we're gonna see. I'm gonna basically ruin it. We're gonna see the bullet before it hits him, and it's not in front of him. If you don't believe me, keep watching. Or scrub ahead. Go ahead.
Well, let me show you where these camera angles are first. This is cam 1 over there to the left. Obviously, Charlie Kirk is in the centerpiece. Let me get a mouse over here. Charlie Kirk is in the center over here. Cam 1 is over here. Cam 2 is here. Cam 3 is here. Cam 4 is here. And we will refer back to those as we go. They're not exact, but they should be very, very close. And then at the end, when we go back to camera 1, I'll pull up a line to show you possible distance and shot. All right, so we're gonna go take a look at this. This is I'm just doing all this inside of Final Cut to make it easier for everybody. This is camera angle 1. Camera angle 1 is, like I said, over here. Boom, camera angle 1 on Charlie's left side. I'm gonna try to keep as much blood out of this as I can.
I was gonna say, warning, there is a little bit. We do see the hit a bunch in this video. Not any spillage of I don't want to say much more, but you understand.
No guarantees, so if you don't want to watch it, don't. But we're gonna go frame by frame real quick. This footage is obviously a little bit grainy. It's not 1963. This ain't the grassy knoll, but at the same time, there's compression that happens on the internet, and so it's hard to find original 1, 2. Then everybody wants to screenshot it because it's not downloadable. Anyway, it is grainy, so even as it goes into Final Cut, it loses a little bit of it. So just halfway trust me that the video. Let's roll. All right, so this is like I said, camera angle 1. Let me get to it. This is camera angle 1 as we go. This is camera angle 1 is, you can see the bullet before the frame before, right? So if we're looking right here, I don't know if you can see that on there. Zoom in. You could say Zeb.
That is crazy.
That's just a fly flying by, or that's just a piece of dust specking up sunlight. And
this is unbelievable.
That's fine. Let's take that. So here we have, this is a frame before.
Just look at that. You could see it right above the guy's phone, in front of his phone camera. The guy in the white behind him, which we know is Frank. I forgot his last name, Frank Lutz or something like that. This is the bullet. It came in between the guy in the black and the guy in the white. It seems to be coming in Frank. He seems to be coming in between his right past his head. Or actually, no, it probably came down this way. It came past Frank's cap and down to Charlie's right under his ear.
It hits Charlie, right? One frame. This is one frame.
Look at that.
Bing, bang, boom. This is a single frame.
That's crazy.
Bullet, Charlie. And you say, Zeb, how's that the bullet? He shot him from the rooftop straight in front of him. I said, well, let's come into this with no understanding of what the FBI told us. This is the bullet, right? And so we're going to follow up with some more of this here in a second. That's camera 1. Obviously, there's that angle. We're going to go into camera 2. Camera 2 is a little bit brutal, but we're going to look at it from this angle right here. This is Alex Jones pulled this. Camera 2 and camera 3 have very, very similar angles, but they're a little bit different. And so we go into camera 2. We're right here. Let's go. Oops. Let's go frame by frame. Obviously, this would be the frame where you see the bullet. This would be the frame that hits. And some people said this is
That's
hitting
one.
body armor, right? If he was hitting from the front,
That's
this would be a
one
body armor
frame
shot.
difference,
It's
and
some
you
type
saw
of
that
plate,
bullet
it
go
looks
back
like,
and forth. You
possibly
saw it.
catching a shockwave
Now,
or
when you see that,
whatever.
I'm gonna have to pause
It's
my man
not the
here.
case.
When you see that, what do you think? This is the exact moment he was hit. This is the frame that's how fast the bullet is. It breaks the frame. I don't even know what it's called. But it's hit. You could see his hair moving because he was just been hit with a high-speed projectile. And you could see his earpiece pop up and goes. That's under his shirt, so that's what's popping up in front of him. And then, of course, the hole that's there in the front of his neck there is the exit wound.
I'm going to demonstrate that here in a second. I actually have the mic on
I'm
that he's
saying
using
what he's
and
going to
a
tell us, but I
headset,
can't help but get it out.
that I'm going to demonstrate exactly what happened. And so as we go, this is an exit wound in the neck. An entry wound doesn't cause that immediately. Then we're going to follow up with entry and exit wound here in a second. But as we go, you can see, you can barely faintly see this as we go back and forth. But we'll get a cleaner shot of that here in a half a second. That is the earpiece flying off. And then, yeah, I mean, like I said, if this was a straight-on shot, it wouldn't create that kind of entry wound. I'm gonna pull this out. Hopefully, y'all can hear me as I demonstrate. I'm gonna go to full screen. It's not his body armor. What it is his. So he has a mic. I have my mic. Let me make sure that audio is working. Yes. Okay, we're good. So I have my mic
You can hear
right
Gino
here,
barking
and
in the
I have an
background.
earpiece, and Charlie Kirk has an earpiece in, and I'll demonstrate that here in a second in the camera 3.
Sorry.
And so what he's done, and it's actually more comfortable. I give him this. I figured this one out. It's more comfortable to have it wrap around and pinch into a mic than it is to have it drape straight down because it doesn't pull on you, right? It's loose up here. It's loose, right? I have my mic, and it wraps around the back of my head, and it comes here, and it comes across, and I'll demonstrate I'll show you exactly where it's at here. And it comes across. My shirt's a little bit tighter than his is, but the point remains the same. And that's why his mic is almost vertical in this frame, right? It's pinched up. It's not flat like most people wear it with the magnet. It's pinched because it's grabbing the cord. And so the cord is, I just had to unplug mine, but let's say he's got it tucked in right here. And he's sitting down, so it's kind of crunched up a little bit. And when it hits, it pops up, right? So you can see the cord is somewhat similar to where his is. Boom. There's your cord. It pulls from the shockwave.
The
And it grabs the
shockwave,
shirt
that's what
and
I
pulls
was
it up.
saying.
I'll explain
You
that
see
here
it
in
in
a
his
second.
hair.
And so
Oh,
this is the cord is running down.
That's
through
an
the neck.
exit
It
wound.
pulls the collar up, and the shockwave pulls the rest of the cord with it. That's why it looks like it's a circle.
what the only thing that we can know from seeing that is that he did not suffer whatsoever. They said that he died at the hospital. There's no possible way that he survived that. Whether he was shot the way they say it happened or the way it actually happened, which is the way we're watching it right here.
Situated. So that's why it's a circle. Hopefully y'all heard everything. And then it pulls up, right? And so when it pops, this probably pops off. Maybe it doesn't. It doesn't matter. It's kind of irrelevant at this point, but it's just a little DJI mic. He probably has something extremely similar. All that being said, this is angle number 2, and this is what we are looking at right now. Like I said, this looks like body armor, but it doesn't because it's the cord kind of catching the shockwave. We're going to roll into I'm not gonna let you watch the leak, but basically, it's an open wound. That's an exit wound, not an entry. Entry doesn't do that. I would say it's a smaller caliber than a 30-06. A 30-06 would make a much bigger hole. I could probably pull up entry and exit.
Now all
wounds.
this, what he's saying is very important right here.
Right, and so we're looking at something like this. You see, that's a, I mean, it's obviously not to scale, but this is what we're looking at, right? We have an exit wound, let's call it 38, 53, 57, 9 mil, probably a 9 mil. I assumed when we were first breaking the story, I assumed it was a closer shot than, these are all pistol rounds, but something along the lines of a 38. They claim rifle. It sounds like a rifle. Doesn't sound like 30-06. Sounds like something smaller, maybe 5.56, maybe. I wouldn't think 7.62. 7.62 is a little bit deeper sound. But all that being said, kind of irrelevant what the actual caliber of the weapon was. As we get into it, so we're gonna go forward. That's camera 2. We're gonna roll to camera 3. Camera 3 is a little bit better quality. We're gonna go, like I said, boom, camera 3. This is where camera 3 is being shot from. Back. We're gonna take a look at, this is camera 3 going in frame by frame. And so what you'll see is kind of the same thing, but a little bit different. So there's your quote unquote body armor that's not there. And then we're gonna roll into, all right. First thing I want you to notice, and I didn't think anything of it the first time around. I want you to watch his earlobe as it goes. Right there. I don't know if you can see that. It's not a lot, but it's enough. And so then we go on. There's a piece that starts to fly back. This is another piece. I was assuming this was blood, but it's not blood. What this is that earpiece, the same earpiece that we were talking about a second ago. This is the same earpiece, right? I was watching this. Boom, boom. See, I thought it was going backwards.
I know it's hard to see, guys, but
it's flying towards him, right?
I'm not going to even play this whole video. I just want to get this message out there.
So
you saw, you've already seen enough evidence to prove, just by regular ballistics alone, that he was shot from behind to his right, a little bit behind. So maybe someone who is not sitting directly to his right, but maybe like if there was seating, or I forgot if they were standing on a thing or if they were sitting in seats, but let's say the person that would line directly to his right, I would say it would be the person 1 or 2 behind him that would have maybe took that shot, or maybe even 3. But it might have come from a lot further away than we think, because the people there would have seen someone shoot if they were real close. So the shot, Tyler, we know these people are not, they're not right. They need help. They need help, right? The furries, people who just believe that they're animals, or they're, that they're something that they're not. They need help, right? And as much as people would love for this to prove that they are, there's a mental illness going on, and it's becoming a crisis. This looks more like the truth to me. I'm gonna let it play a little bit more, and then I'm gonna let it out. Thank you for listening to Strange History, or watching Strange History.
Not necessarily in the earpiece, maybe a little bit lower, maybe it hit the jaw. Anyway, the temporary cavity, it causes a temporary cavity. Maybe I can pull that up here. Let me pull up a temporary cavity since we're doing all that. This is a temporary cavity.
This also is important.
Diagram.
It shows why the hole is so big in that spot.
Probably an entry near near the base of the ear or the jaw, and then this would it's at an angle, right? So it's gonna what's called yaw inside. So especially if it hits bone, it's gonna be very, very unpredictable. And so what I'm talking about is the cavity would cause the cord to kind of, where's my cord? The cord to kind of pull the shirt, right? And so this is exactly what we're looking at. It would cause the cord to pull a shirt, just like the cord, the wire sends signals. It's gonna catch any kind of reverberations, vibrations, and it's gonna throw itself. And that's exactly what you're seeing here, right? It's throwing itself, right? If you watch, comes out of the ear, goes around, pulls the shirt up, and pulls the rest of the cord with it at the same time, along with that mic that's got it pinned in, right? The mic's pinned in to the shirt or to the cord, wire, whatever you want to call it, irrelevant. Kind of throws itself there. There's your exit wound again, right? And so we're watching this earpiece get thrown. It pulls the shirt, and so there. Oh, so what I want you to notice is this exit wound, and there's blood on the shirt. Again, this is evidence too that this is an exit wound, not just because it's this, not just because it's about to gush, but also there's blood on the shirt. And you know, if you have an injury wound, it wouldn't have blood on the shirt going in. This doesn't make sense. Keep going. It kind of falls over. There's the rest of your earpiece right there behind him, and then goes. I'm not going to show you too much of that, but he starts bleeding after that. We're going to go to camera 4 here, just to let me make sure I got everything from there. Earpiece, extra body armor, it was same. All right.
Now,
We're
imagine
going to go
being
to
someone
camera angle 4.
standing right in
Camera
this
angle 4 is
spot, right in one of these people, just looking, not this girl looking down, or he might be a guy, whatever. It looks like more like a girl to me, looking down at her phone or his phone. You got this person recording. This is the other good angle. This person right here. I just want to give that person credit for that video, no matter what their opinions are. Imagine being these people and seeing this right in front of you. This is a life change. First of all, I just want to say this is equivalent to a Martin Luther King Jr. With the internet today, it's bigger. It's more widely known. There's more people have seen it or heard about it. More people know who Charlie Kirk is in the world than they knew who Martin Luther King Jr. was or JFK. And I know that's a hard thing to say, but this is a political assassination. Now, beyond that, just watching a human get murdered right in front of you must be a horrific, horrifying. And I've seen some things, but nothing like this ever. And just being right in front of you and seeing that could ruin your life. That could scar you for life. These people right here that are watching it, the people standing right around him, that went to go help him. The guy was on, he was DOA. Boom. And right here will show you where the bullet hits him. I believe that's what they're gonna show.
probably the one that's getting most of the
I know I said I was gonna shut up.
recognition here, or some variation of that, right? This guy in the white hat, his name is Frank Turek. He put a statement out on Twitter. Maybe I'll find it and pull it up. It's kind of irrelevant. His name's Frank Turek. He's been around a long time. I followed him for a long time. I like a lot of his work. Go check him out if you don't mind. He's apologetics guy. Specifically, his interview he did with Alice O'Connor. I really like that one. Anyway, Frank Turek out.
Just notice also in this video, there is no frame where a bullet is in sight in this whole frame, but we see a bullet in a frame on the other one in such a short little spot. But this is a whole video that there's not a frame where there's a bullet.
Alice O'Connor. This is Frank Turek, and what's getting a lot of traction here is not only are we going to look at the earpiece again, right? Earpiece flies off, boom, 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 pulls it with it, and then there goes everything else. What we're going to look at here is a lot of people claiming this is a reflection. It's not a reflection, because of the bullet. It's not a reflection of the bullet. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because, well, the bullet's already there, right? The bullet's already there. There's one frame. It's already there. The reflection would be back towards, like, I don't even know, back towards, like, here somewhere. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, there was a muzzle
Right,
flash,
Frank's
and
here.
I don't believe it's in this video, where he's pointing right now where cam 4 is. There was a muzzle flash seen from this building all the way to the back inside the window. So almost like someone took a shot from up here, all the way to the right bottom, take where his beard. I don't know if you can see my mouse or not. Look at his beard and go straight down, right in that little building at the bottom there, with the little maybe trees or whatever that we're looking at the top of it. Like that's where the shot came from, right a little bit behind him, like I said, where he is, and then down. There is a muzzle flash video where you see a flash come from a window right here. It's not this video, but that also exists. Just keep that in mind. I wouldn't say that to you if I haven't seen it myself.
Cam 4 is here. Frank's here. It would be over here. Anyway, irrelevant to the point. We're going back to a Final Cut. All right, and this is that just, like I said, it just doesn't make sense. Throw that one away. Throw that in the trash. Anybody says that. Are we going to move on back to camera angle 1 and then finish this up? This is camera angle 1, just pulled from a higher portion of the video, right? So if we're looking at this, the bullet is coming in from somewhere in this direction or somewhere in this direction, right? It has to float this way. If we're looking at bullet here, which I think we can confirm given everything else that we've seen. Where is it? Frame here.
There it is.
So if we're looking here, this is camera angle 1 on up. Let's assume this is a bullet. I think it's safe to say that that is the bullet, given this, given this, given this, given everything else. We can go back to Pixelmator Pro, take a look at this thing. And so we have this shot of Charlie Kirk, and then we have the bullet behind him. The bullet behind him is like right here in angle, somewhere in this vicinity.
It's a little closer.
And so what we have to do is we can track that bullet. Boom. We can track about where that bullet is, give or take.
Okay.
And then we can follow that on here.
Close.
And so this is what I'm going to show you. I think this is a muzzle flash. But I'm gonna show you the problem that I have with it here in a second. Let's assume this is a muzzle flash, right? So look top. Whoa, let me pull you up. So look top left up here.
Oh, here. This is the muzzle flash thing.
I want you to see this white dot. It's a single frame. It's a single frame white dot. So we can go. We can go back, forward. It's a single frame. That's all it is. Single frame. But that single frame is very coincidental, or that's a muzzle flash.
That's crazy.
And I'm willing to kind of throw it off as coincidental because we already have our answer to kind of direction of the bullet. It's quite literally not possible to do what was done from a straight on shot. It doesn't happen. And I would say there's not two shooters. I would say there's a single shooter. Anyway, given this is a muzzle flash, we're looking top.
All right. Well, I'm gonna end this here. Thank you for watching. This has been Strange History.